because it's an appeal to the authority of the prestigious Journal of the Lancet, and also you have the CDC weighing in on the issue as well, right? So that one I would say, inductive appeal to authority, strong. Okay. Number 5, God is omniscient. Does everybody know what omniscient means? What does omniscient mean? All knowing. Okay. Therefore, God knew who was going to heaven and who was going to hell even before he created humankind.
Deductive based on definition.
Deductive based on definitions. Okay, and now is it valid or invalid? It is valid because that does follow from the definition of omniscient.
So what would make it invalid?
Suppose they said God is omniscient, therefore God did not know.
Oh, because it doesn't go with the definition.
Yes. All right. Oh, number 6, we'll get rid of this one soon enough because it's too controversial. Anita is an upstanding Catholic. Hence, Anita is not pro-choice.
Inductive generalization.
Okay, remember we use generalization very specifically in here, and that's we take a sample of a population and then make a claim about the population. We're not doing that here, right? So if we're limiting generalization to doing that, it's not generalization.
Analogy.
What comparison? There's no comparison. Anita is an upstanding Catholic. Hence, so it's supposed to follow from the fact that she's an upstanding Catholic that what?
She's not
Correct. And what kind of argument would that be?
Deductive based on definition.
Deductive based on definitions. Okay. Now, this is why some Catholics have told me, well, I'm pro-choice. Well, are you an upstanding Catholic? Well, I think if you told the Pope that you were pro-choice, the Pope might have a problem. Does everybody understand that? So it's supposed to, and if I just said Anita is Catholic, right, that's how I started. A couple of versions go, Anita is Catholic, hence she's not pro-choice. Then people argued that does not follow. Okay, fine. So then I said upstanding Catholic, and we still fight about it. So no more Anita next time. 7, socialism is both an economic and political theory, basically to avoid exploitation of have-nots by the haves. The citizenry of a country versus individuals should own and manage the industries that supply the necessities of life. For example, the utilities companies, the roads, etc. Hence, the president's plan to provide free universal health care is a step towards socialism. What? Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. So deducted by definition, and does it follow from that definition? Yes. Right. So that would be deductive by definition and valid. Yes.
What was number 6? It was deductive, 1, and then it was valid, right?
Yes. 8. At the same time, Mike and Ike both leave point P to meet at rendezvous point Q. Mike travels due east for 3 miles before turning due north and traveling 4 miles to reach Q. Ike travels north-northeast straight from P to Q. Both Mike and Ike travel at the same speed, hence Ike will reach Q first. Mathematical or geometric reasoning, so that's deductive. Valid or invalid? Valid. 9, straight lines L and M are parallel to one another. Straight line N is perpendicular to M. N is perpendicular to straight line O. Hence, straight lines L and O are parallel.
Geometrical.
Yes. And so that's deductive and valid or invalid. I'd have to draw a picture. Yeah, but we could all draw pictures, right, and figure it out. 10 is a little bit tricky. The 3-man soccer officiating crew averages 12 years of refereeing among them. Hence, each member of this crew has more experience refereeing a 3-man crew than a crew that averages only 8 years of refereeing.
Inductive generalizations based on sampling of population.
No, did we make a,
Prediction.
aren't they trying to do some mathematical reasoning?
Yeah.
And aren't they doing it badly? Right? So it's a mathematical argument, so it's deductive by virtue of being a mathematical argument, but the conclusion does not follow. So it would be invalid. Okay? Because they're just assuming they're using the averages, right? When you could have an average of X with one person having all the experience and the other two having very little experience. Okay. 11. I don't know this stray dog personally, but it's obviously a golden retriever. I have known several golden retrievers over the years, and all of them have been friendly. Hence, I'm certain it's safe to pet this one.
Inductive.
Yes, what flavor?
Generalization.
No.
Prediction.
Yeah, prediction. Okay, why not generalization? It's not a claim about golden retrievers, it's a claim about this specific one. Okay? So prediction, strong or weak? Strong or weak? Anyone?
Strong.
I'd
No.
say a week.
There's not a lot of golden retriever experience there, right? So I would be inclined to say weak. 12, it's been so hot lately that our air conditioning hasn't been able to keep pace. We've had the thermostat set at 70 degrees and the temperature would stay there until about 2 p.m. and slowly rise above 70 degrees until about 6 p.m. when the temperature would start to fall. Yesterday, however, we had that newfangled foam insulation installed. Today, the air conditioner has been able to keep the house at 70 degrees with ease. The temperature outside today is the same as yesterday. Hence, the foam insulation has made our house easier to cool. What kind?
Deductive cause and effect.
Is cause and effect deductive?
Inductive.
Yeah, so you're right, it is cause and effect, but it's inductive, okay? Strong or weak?
Week, because it's only one day, right?
Okay, if you pointed that out and you said weak, I'd say, okay. But generally, I would assume that that's pretty strong evidence, right? It's the same temperature and everything, and now the air conditioner could do it, okay? So a lot of it depends on your justification, right? So if you got it wrong and you said, well, I was thinking this, I'd say, okay. Does everybody understand that? The point is for you to understand the material and not for you to give the answer that I'm expecting you to give necessarily. Does everybody understand that? The history display on the roulette table indicates that red is hit 5 times in a row. The odds of hitting 6 reds in a row are astronomically low. Hence, we should put everything on black. Inductive or deductive? I'll give you a hint. It's inductive. What kind?
Probability.
Probability or predictions. Strong or weak? Is this a good strategy? It's not a good strategy. This is weak. this line of thought is what we call the gambler's fallacy, okay? And in fact, casinos invite you to make this, okay? So I don't know how much time you've spent in the casinos. I've spent a lot. But on the roulette wheel, they have this pole that shows what's hit, right? The number and its color, right? And they'll have like the last 10 or 20 of them. And so people can walk by and they can see that, wow, it's hit red, 5 times in a row or something like that. And they'll think that, well, it's got to even out, right? And so they'll bet that that black is coming. Here's the problem. What are the odds, and let's forget about the greens for a moment, on a roulette wheel, what are the odds that will hit black or red on any given spin? 50-50. The past spins have no influence on the next spin. But they're trying to get you to think, oh, black is 2. Does everybody understand that? And now here's the beauty of it. Let's read the next one. The history display on the roulette table indicates that red is hit 5 times in a row. Red is hot, hence we should put everything on red. Well, just because red has come up 5 times in a row doesn't mean it's any more likely to come up red the next time. It's still 50-50. But people do this all the time, right? Because they confuse these two questions. What are the odds of hitting red 6 times in a row? Well, that's 1/2 to the 6, which is very small. But that's not your situation. What your situation is this. What are the chances of hitting red given that you've already hit red 5 times in a row? The answer is 50-50. Does everybody understand that? Okay. 15, given the ideal gas law, this balloon will shrivel up when I place it in the freezer.
Deductive from scientific law.
Deductive from a scientific law, valid or invalid?